Hello all, welcome to this sociology test batch orientation. The objective of this session is that we will be giving you a basic approach to tackle sociology optional. Approach is what is very important in the examination. Content is not that so important. Relatively speaking, how do you approach is what is very important. See, the approach is what is tested in all the levels of the examination in general. Many people who have written your prelims 2021, you'll be knowing this. How do I approach the paper? Is not purely guided. It is not only guided by your knowledge part. It is not just guided by your knowledge part. Do you think that honestly that because of your studies, your knowledge base, you handled the questions in prelims 2022? There are of course some questions you handled because of the knowledge, but majority of the questions or many questions you have handled based on what is that thing which gave you a clue to handle the questions in the prelims examination? I will say an approach is what is important in the prelims. Approach means what? Where do I stand? Whether I should touch this question or I should leave this question, should I take risk? That approach towards your paper, the approach in that examination condition, that is what is tested in the prelims examination. Come to the mains, your approach is what is tested. How do you handle the situation? How do you treat a particular case? When a question is asked, how do you handle the questions? When you go to the personality test, your approach is what is tested. How do you approach a problem? So it is the approach which is what is very, very important for us to get into civil services. Approach here means strategy. Approach means what? Strategy. Strategy means what? Strategy means basically methods. When you see Mahabharata, the strategy which is used by different stalwarts in the form of big characters is what we come to know. How Lord Krishna is using a strategy, how Bhishma is using a strategy, how Dronacharya is using a strategy, what Saguni does in making the strategy. So everything is connected to approach. Right? Sometimes Lord Krishna goes to the extent of doing something injustice to do justice. Otherwise, he would not have told Arjuna to shoot the arrow against Karna. So it is the approach, it is the strategy. That is what is going to be given to you right now. Content part will come in the form of test discussions. And today's lecture is about the strategy. What is the target which you have in your mind? You tell me, what should be your sociology target? Tell me. Because there is one saying, if you have to start something, you have to know the end of that thing. Start with an end in the mind. Begin with an end in the mind. So what is the end point which you are striving for? You tell me. As far as sociology is concerned, what is your target you are aiming for? What target you have? I would say, what target you have for sociology? What should be the mark which you have to get in sociology? You tell me. What is your dream? 300 plus. So I would always recommend you to have this 320 plus as your target. 320 plus should be your target. When you get 320 plus in sociology, for sure you'll get home cadre IAS. So how I will get that 320? I have fixed the target. And now how I will mobilize the resources to achieve this target? So the preparation is all about resource mobilization. Preparation is all about what? Resource mobilization. How do I mobilize the resource? Because this is going to be a big battle. It is not going to be an easy cakewalk. It is going to be a struggle only. But in this struggle, in this battle, I should be a decisive winner, for which I should be mobilizing the resources. Again, I am bringing the story of Mahabharata. Pandavas mobilized resources in the form of Krishna himself, because he is the ultimate resource that they know. Whereas Kauravas decided to take resource from the army of Krishna. So whether it is winner or it is loser, all of them tried to mobilize the resource, because all of them have targets, all of them have goal. So what is the resource which you are going to use and how you are going to use, that is what is going to decide the victory in the war. What is the resource? How you are going to use the resource? And that is what is going to decide the victory in the war. Now, resource is what for you? What is the resource which you are using for this 320? What resource you are going to have to reach this 320? The resource means here the materials which you are using. The resource means the quality discussion you are having with your teacher. The resource means the quality discussion you are having with your friends. So that is the resource. Materials, quality discussion you are having with the teachers, and quality discussions you are having with your friends, that is the resource. Now, you have got the resource. The problem lies in putting the resource to use. The problem here lies in putting the resource to use. Because I have collected the material, I have had quality discussion with the teacher, I have discussed with my friends, I have so many nice points, but how do I translate that knowledge into result? Here where practice comes. So there are two types of people. One, who have sufficient resource. Number two, who are using the resource appropriately, optimally. So transformation or translation of resource to result is what is your test series. Understand that? Translation of resource to result. Unfortunately, for many of the students, their preparation ends with resource. It is not the end. Resource is the beginning of the end called result. The proof of the pudding lies in eating. I have studied a lot, I have done everything, but I have not got enough score to clear the examination. Means, what is the use of my resource? So the test series is going to convert this resource into result. Here where test series will come into play. Test series will transform resource into result. Now people will be speaking about how to write an answer to satisfy UPSC, because it is about you satisfying the examiner. You should satisfy everyone who are all connected in the process of UPSC. You should satisfy them. Preliminary examination is satisfying UPSC in the form of making the right answer. Main examination in the written format, satisfying the examiner, writing the relevant answer to the question asked by the examiner. In the interview, in the personality test, you are satisfying the examiner through your answers. So it is about satisfying those people who decide whether you will be in or you will be in the out. Now, how will I convince me? How will I convince them? I should seek a place in lbsnaa. I should persuade them. I should convince them. Otherwise, they will not give me a ticket to go to Mussoorie. I should pacify them. I should convince them. I should make them happy. How will you make them happy? You will make somebody happy only when you try to give the answer what they expect. When somebody is doing what I want them to do, I will feel happy or not. That somebody is UPSC will feel happy if you answer the question according to the demand of the question. So I am making the UPSC examiner happy by writing the relevant answer to the relevant question. Which means that I am not writing the answer based on what I know. I am writing the answer based on what I am expected to write. All our sociology students, you would have studied R.K. Merton. Yes or no? You have studied R.K. Merton. You have studied Talcott Parsons. Parsons writes about role. Parsons is writing about role. Every role is having an expectation. Based on the expectation, the role should be performed. So, role of you is a candidate now. Expectation of UPSC is that you should write a good answer. You have to perform according to the expectation. When you are playing your role as per the expectation, what is the consequence? You tell me. You are playing your role as per the expectation. What will be the consequence? Reward. Reward. So, reward is in the form of IAS, IPS. Now, what UPSC expects? UPSC expects you to write an answer which will satisfy two important dimensions. UPSC will expect you to satisfy two important dimensions in the answer. One dimension is the knowledge dimension. Definitely, a civil servant should be a knowledgeable person. Have you read Max Weber? What Weber says? A bureaucrat will be selected based on what? A bureaucrat will be selected based on expertise, knowledge. So, bureaucrat will have to be a knowledgeable person. Therefore, knowledge is what is going to be tested. But whether only knowledge is going to be tested? No. It is not just knowledge which is going to be tested. How you are using the knowledge, your methods also will be tested. You have a knowledge that this particular group is a terrorist group and they are potential to do these things badly to the society. You have the knowledge. But what method you are using? Are you using a constitutional method or unconstitutional method? There is a thief. Knowledge is that he is a thief. Now you are taking your gun, you are an IPS officer, you are shooting him in the open public. In the eye of 1,000 people, you are shooting and killing the person. You will be jailed or not? So it is about methods. How do you use the method? What method you use? The method and knowledge both will make answer good. What type of knowledge you are projecting, you are presenting, and how you are projecting, how you are presenting. So what is knowledge, how is what is method. If you satisfy these two dimensions of UPSC, then UPSC will give you the reward. Come, take it. How much? 320 plus. So straight away, where should I go? Go to lbsnaa. So satisfy these two dimensions. This is what is UPSC's expectation. UPSC expects you what? UPSC expects from you what? OLQ. What is that OLQ? UPSC is expecting from you OLQ. OLQ here means officer like quality. Officer should be knowledgeable. He should know thoroughly the rules of the game. And it is not about knowledge only. It is about how you are using the knowledge. How you are using the knowledge. So both have to be excelled by you in the form of test series. Our test series will definitely ensure the knowledge part as well as the methodology part. In the second unit of sociology, we have studied in paper 1 that knowledge plus method makes something. Something is made out of knowledge and method. What is that thing? I call something as a combination of knowledge and method in the second unit of paper 1 sociology. That is what is called a science. So when you are focusing on these two, your method or your strategy is a scientific strategy or not. When you are using a scientific strategy, the probability of success increases and the probability of failure reduces. Yes or no? So our approach in the test series is a scientific approach because science is a combination of knowledge and method. Our test series also is a combination of knowledge and method. Since science has more probability of success through its predictive value, our test series have more probability of success through its predictive value. So in the test series, what we are doing is what we are predicting how 2022 sociology paper will be. We are trying to make prediction, and you have got the this handout which tells about our prediction. 13th year in a row, we have predicted sociology optional UPSC for UPSC examination. You can just go to our website. You can go to our Telegram channel. We have a Telegram channel. Kindly subscribe to the Telegram channel because we are doing 3 important things. 1, we have given model answers. How many of you have followed the model answers? Just during the prelims only we have put it in the mute mode. Now that we will be kickstarting, because we'll be busy with prelims, you will not see the answer, which is why we are not posted. So from now onwards, you'll get the model answer. Already you have 100 model answers for 100 questions, which will cover the entire paper 1 sociology. So through 100 model answers, which we have posted in the Telegram channel of us, you will be able to cover the entire sociology paper 1. Number 2, daily basis we are putting the socio post. Whatever comes in the current affairs, what is relevant for your UPSC sociology, we are putting in the form of socio post. 3, social fact monthly current affairs magazine. We have come out with a dedicated sociology current affairs monthly magazine. First of its kind in India, I would say. First of its kind in India. Sociology monthly current affairs magazine. You have current affairs magazine, but you do not have a monthly sociology current affairs magazine. In that sociology current affairs magazine, we are giving three important things. One is the examples which you will be using in your paper. Daily example, current affairs example. For example, Durkheim's division of labor. Some example will give. These are the examples you can give for this portions of sociology. That is one part in the social fact magazine. The second part of the social fact magazine is what? Sociology explained. Will take some 5 news items, current affairs. Will explain from sociological dimension. And third is perspective. Will take one perspective, and we will try to explain the most important news item using one bigger perspective. So sociology explained, the perspective, and the examples. These are the three important things for which you have to follow the Social Fact Monthly magazine. So those who have not subscribed to this Telegram channel, kindly subscribe, because these are value additions. It will help you to get half a mark extra. This may appear very small, half a mark extra in one question. 38 questions totally you have. 38 into half a mark, 19 marks you will be getting extra. 19 marks if you get extra, your rank will be improving by 200 or 300. half a mark, அரை மார்க், கால் மார்க், கொஞ்சம் எனக்கு ஒரு கால் மார்க் கொடுங்க. வாட்டர் மார்க் இதெல்லாம் வச்சு என்ன பண்றது? இதை வச்சு ஐஏஎஸ் வாங்கிடலாம்பா, இதை வச்சு ஐஏஎஸ் வாங்கிடலாம். யூ கேன் கெட் ஐஏஎஸ். அப்போ ஹவு பீப்புள் மேட் இன்டு தி லிஸ்ட் ஆஃப் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் கேண்டிடேட்ஸ் இந்த மாதிரி தான். கொஞ்சம் ஒரு அரை மார்க், ஒரு கால் மார்க் கொடுங்க, ஒரு முக்கால் மார்க் கொடுங்க. புட் ஆல் தீஸ் 1/4, 1/2 and all 20 மார்க் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா. ஒரு மார்க் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா வாங்கினா 20 ரேங்க்குக்கு முன்னால போயிடலாம்பா. ஒரு மார்க், ஒரே மார்க்ல 10 பேர் இருப்பாங்க. சேம் மார்க் 10 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் will be there. அப்போ அவங்களோட ரேங்க் எப்படி வரும்? பேஸ்ட் ஆன் தேர் ஜிஎஸ் மார்க்ஸ். சரி, ஜிஎஸ்லயும் ஒரே மார்க் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் எஸ்ஏ மார்க். எஸ்ஏலயும் ஒரே மார்க். என்ன பண்றது? வாட் டு டு? You know that. See, total score is same. Now same score, same rank cannot be given. Different rank should be given. First they will see what? GS la yaar nariya mark. In GS who scored more? GS also same mark, 2 students. SA also same mark. என்ன பண்றதுப்பா? 1 IAS post vacant, 2 people are having same marks total, same GS mark, same SA mark. What will happen? என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? ஆப்ஷனலும் அது பார்க்க மாட்டாங்க. எப்படி அவங்க ஒரு ஆப்ஷனல், இவங்க வேற ஆப்ஷனல்? How they compare sociology with political science? No. At least GS has common question paper. SA also to some extent common question paper only. என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க தெரியுமா? Somebody told me. What they'll do? Date of birth. Who is aged? He will be given a choice. He will be given a chance, not choice, chance. அப்போ எப்போவுமே எனக்கு வயசாயிடுச்சு சார் அப்படின்னா அங்கே ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜ் இருக்குதுன்னு சொல்றது. நான் ஒன்றும் கவலைப்படாதீங்க சார், ஐ பிகம் ஏஜ்டு. ஒன்றும் இல்லை. எல்டர்லி பீப்புள் ஆர் ரெஸ்பெக்டட் இன் அவர் கல்ச்சர். வி ஆர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஆஃப் சோஷியாலஜி. இன் நார்த் இந்தியா என்றால் they'll touch the feet of the elderly person. சவுத் இந்தியாவில் நம்ம யோசிப்போம், they will compel அப்படிம்பாங்க, then we will touch the feet. அங்கெல்லாம் அப்படி இல்லை. நார்த் இந்தியாவில் ஜஸ்ட் unknown person, elder person, they will touch the feet. So that is what is the culture. That is the culture which people have. So the culture is respecting aged people. Even if you are aged in UPSC, you have some advantage of being aged, right? Don't worry, because age you cannot stop. There are some students who come and ask, sir, வயசாகிட்டே போகுது சார் அப்படின்னா என்ன சார் பண்ண முடியும்? எனக்கும் வயசாகிட்டே தான் போகுது. அது can you stop it? You cannot stop it. So don't worry. Anyhow, somewhere something it will be compensating. Don't worry about that. Your hard work will be compensated in some other form. If I try to speak about that thing, then the entire sociology will go. So I'll go on to sociology. That knowledge and method is what we are going to give you in the form of test series. Knowledge, how and all you will secure. What are the sources of knowledge? So whatever material you are having, use the material. Sociology material. Whatever material you are having, use it. If you feel like your material is sufficient, if you have that feeling that your material is sufficient, in every material is a good material. I don't tell that this is good, this is bad, because this is an open session, live session, so I cannot tell. That is why I am telling any material of your choice is good. So use material. Number two, the source of knowledge is the discussion you are having. As I told, the discussion you have, especially class lectures, discussion, test discussion. Third, additional materials, value additions. In value additions, I'll strongly recommend Hindu newspaper, Economic and Political Weekly magazine, Yojana, and some websites. What are these websites? I will not tell you because it's a notion. You'll be submerged under water if I tell this. So to know that there are some websites available, I am telling you, but website and all is a very big ocean. If I go into that, 5-6 websites are there, highly technical, which is using so much of abstract language. So I will tell that for your information only, I am telling, not for imitation, just for information. But these are the materials you are using. If you are using this, fine. If you don't want to use any additional materials, I save energy based on the government of India's recommendation. I follow this as a principle. Energy saver I will not spend energy, I will only save energy. I am telling you, just to follow the test discussion plus your social fact current affairs magazine. Enough. With this you can get your target done. For those students who are very religiously, meticulously making additional material which you are using for your current affairs, general studies, you can use in sociology. For those people who say that ennala mudiyadhu sir, I cannot do, means I am giving you a small shortcut, and that shortcut is just to follow the test series. Just to follow the test series and the social fact monthly magazine. So this will give you knowledge. This will give you knowledge. Now, I told you knowledge is not going to give you IAS. Using knowledge in appropriate way, that is method only, is going to make you IAS. So methods you have to use. Methods here means the answer writing or the structure of the answer or the form of the answer. This is the content of the answer. This is the substance of the answer. And method is nothing but the form or the structure of the answer, the form. For example, a student just morning only he came, he gave a wedding invitation to me. He was inviting for his wedding, right? Normally wedding happens after people clear the civil service examination, no? So meaning what? Cleared civil service examination. That is why this occasion happens, right? So invitation after selection, understand this. When he is giving his invitation, knowledge everybody knows. There is a concept of this, which monogamy only, not sologamy, which you came across in the social media page, or not sologamy. Sociology is very interesting, pa. Why? See, have you ever imagined that one lady tying knot to herself? When I was discussing about the sologamy to my students yesterday, they told everybody is practicing that only. Till they get married, it is that only. No. What is very new in that? Nothing. Sir, bachelors are only sologamy. Sologamy na enna? Have you ever heard about this? புதுசா வருதுப்பா. It's newly happening. நம்ம பார்த்துருக்குறோம், மேரேஜ்னா 2 பேர் இருப்பாங்க, கேர்ள் அண்ட் தி பாய் ஆர் தி பிரைட் அண்ட் தி பிரைடு குரூம். இங்க அப்படி இல்லை, பிரைடு அலோன். அப்போ knowledge is what? Content. This person is marrying that person, that is content part. Form is what? how that invitation is made. Grand one, very appealing. So that is the form. Right? If you just take a small bit of paper, write, sir, date this, I'm this person, I'm marrying this person, this is the place, this is the time, you give that chit to me, content இருக்குது. Content is there. Form is missing or not? So everywhere, not only for UPSC examination, everywhere you have the form and the content. It is not just for UPSC, everywhere there is form and content. Right? So this you have to understand, that there is a form which you have to have. Method you have to practice. How an answer will look like. The form of the answer. How the answer should look like. So generally speaking, the answer will have to have this structure or not. The answer will have to have this structure, form or the structure. First, as you know, introduction should be there. Second, you know, body of the answer should be there. And third, you know, conclusion should be there. This is the structure of the answer, form of the answer or structure of the answer. So there should be an introduction. There are some students who will say, sir, I don't give any introduction to 10 marker. I don't respect 10 marker. 10 markலாம் மரியாதையே கொடுக்க மாட்டேன் சார். அதுக்கு என்ன ஒரு இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன், ஒரு கன்க்ளூஷன், அதெல்லாம் 10 மார்க், it is just worth 10 marks. I will not give introduction and all. Straight away I will write only the body of the answer because it is only 10 marks. 20 marker, with due respect, I give due respect, properly write introduction, properly write conclusion. You know something, 10 marker has more marks than 20 marker in the scheme of the exam. You have 130 marks, 10 marker question. You have 120 marks, 20 marker question. If you don't give proper respect to 130 marks and you tell that you give proper respect to only 120, you are giving only 50% respect. And what is that you give, that you have to take back? No, what I give, that I take back. So 50% respect only they also will give to you. Don't think that 10 marker question should not have introduction, should not have conclusion. 10 marker question also should have introduction like 20 marker. The difference between 10 marker and 20 marker is that 10 marker you are writing in 2 pages, 20 marker you are writing in 4 pages. 10 marker is nothing but a condensed form of 20 marker. 20 marker is only an expanded form of 10 marker. That's all. Contraction of 20 becomes 10. Expansion of 10 becomes 20. As far as the number of points are concerned, both are same. So 10 marker question 5 point. 20 marker question means 20 points. No. I should condense that 20 marker into 10 marker. I should expand that 10 marker into 20 marker. That's all. Give due respect to both 10 marker and 20 marker, meaning you have to write introduction, conclusion for both 10 marker as well as 20 marker. Introduction must have to be very interesting. It is a natural psychological fact that what is interesting, that only catches our attention. We will see something which is interesting. We don't try to waste our time in spending something which is boring. So interest is what is very important, because that will only motivate the teacher to correct your paper. So introduction should not be a clumsy one. It should not be a weak one. Introduction should be a very impressive. It should be a very interesting introduction. How to introduce as a question? How and all you can introduce an answer? How you will introduce an answer? I will say that there are 3 ways to introduce an answer. 3 ways are there to introduce an answer. The first and the most simplest way is define the concept which is asked in the question. Define the concept which is asked in the question. If the question is on alienation, then write what is alienation. in the introduction, right? So this is what is done by everyone. This is what is done by everyone. Or you start the answer with some current affairs. You start the answer with some current affairs, right? So there may be a report, an authentic report, which would have been in the news, which speaks about the people dropping out from IT jobs. For example, NASSCOM report 2022 writes about how after 15 years of service in the IT sector, 20% of the IT professionals are taking voluntary retirement. Like that, some report will be there, current affairs reports will be there, current affairs happenings will be there, relevant to the particular concept asked, that can be used as an introduction passage. Or simply write the background of the concept. Why that concept came in sociology, why that concept was discussed by that particular thinker. Take, for example, alienation is what is asked in the question, means why Marxism is speaking about alienation. Karl Marx was looking at the pathological forms of capitalism, which creates conditions of suffocation, meaninglessness, exploitation, and acceleration of powerlessness. He tries to write about the dysfunctions of capitalism, contradicting to classical economists like Adam Smith, for which he chooses the term alienation. Context understood? So alienation definition can be the starting point of the answer, or some report speaking about alienation in the contemporary workers, or simply why Karl Marx brings the concept of alienation. He is discussing about the pathological forms of division of labor in capitalism to bring to the notice of the workers that they are exploited by the system of economy which is detrimental to the welfare of the larger society. He is writing about alienation to bring a class revolution. This can be an introduction. Now, you be the examiner. You be the examiner. You give me the marks. You tell me, if I define what is alienation, I am giving 2 marks out of 10 mark for introduction, 2 marks out of 10 mark for conclusion, and 6 marks for the body of the answer. Out of 2 marks, you will give how much for first introduction? Out of 2 marks, how much you will give for second introduction? Out of 2 marks, how much you will give for third introduction? You tell me. If I write only definition, out of 2, how much you give? How much you will give? Out of 2 marks for definition, how much you will give? I straight away write the definition. How much you will give me? Half a mark you will give. You will give half a mark. Second introduction, above half or below half? Third type of introduction, above half or below half? Above half or below? Above or below? Above, which means you are thinking that this is not that so appealing, The same thinking will be there in the mind of the examiner also. Because examiner reflects the common opinion. So when you don't give 1 mark, you give just half a mark for this introduction, you give 1 for this and 1 for this. Same happens to you, that if you write this introduction, you'll get only half a mark. If you write 2 or 3, you can get 1 mark. So that is why my choice is that rather than giving the first type of introduction, you can try the second type or third type. Sir, it didn't strike my mind at that time. Second type, third type is not striking my mind at that time when I am putting the pen on the paper, then you can go for the first. So try 2 or 3. If you don't have anything to do, if you don't have anything to write on 2 or 3, needless to say, write 1, because that is a minimum guarantee which you will be getting. Half a mark I'll get for introduction. So when you don't write this introduction, you are losing that half or not. And half a mark, 38 questions, 19 marks will make you IAS, will throw you out of the list. So these are the ways to introduce your answers. Clear? இப்படிலாம் 3 type of introduce பண்ணலாம். Try. How will you try? You'll try only in the form of test. I'm going to give test. No, try whatever you wanted, whatever you think. You please try, I am telling. You try. Because for some students, this will be very naturally fitting to their scheme of mind. So I'll try, I'll know now. See, for him, this is good. For Rajesh, this is good. For him, that is good. I will try to give you a suggestion. This is what is suiting you, and try to follow that. Based on that, you develop your answers. Right? Now come to the body of the answer. Introduction is clear or not? So what is the point which I have told? Both for 10 marker as well as 20 marker, you must have to give introduction. Don't discriminate 10 marker. Equality before law in polity you have studied under Article 14 should not be applicable only to citizens of India, even to the questions asked in UPSC. You are untouchable. 10 mark unna thodave maata appadina UPSC will make you untouchable. UPSC will make you untouchable, I'll tell you. Even though untouchability is abolished. So for 10 marker and 20 marker, I will be writing introduction, conclusion, body, and there are 3 ways to introduce. I'll try. Let me try. I will write the answers. No, for the questions I am putting, you'll write the answer for the question which I am putting in the form of test. So I will try writing, and after evaluation, the teacher, my mentor, will tell me that this will suit, this will not suit. So I come to know which is suitable for me. Based on that, I'll try to get practiced on that particular thing. So introduction part is over. Right? Now come to the body of the answer. Actually, this is what is the answer you are writing. Here you are attacking the question. Attacking question here. Giving answer. The answer will be found in the body. Now, what are the questions they are asking? And what are the meanings of the questions which I should answer in the body of the answer? The question is answered in the body. The exact answer for the question I am finding in the body of the answer. Now, what are the types of questions they can ask you, which should be answered by you in the body of the answer? There are some 6 types of questions they are asking. So what are the types of questions they are asking? Discuss, comment, explain, evaluate, critically evaluate, examine, elucidate, elucidate, justify. These are the types of questions they are asking in the paper. For these questions only, you are going to write answer in the body of the answer. Right? Now, what is the meaning of the word discuss? How many of you really bothered about the words given in the question? We just see the topic asked in the question. Topic asked, what is the topic? Topic is about what? I'm taking 2021 paper, 2021 mains paper I am taking. First question, paper 1, section A, first question. Europe are the first and the only place for emergence of modernity. Emergence of modernity. Modernity. Modernity, whatever I know, whatever I have studied, I'll write. So what I am not going to focus, what is the question asked? What question they have asked? Europe are the first and the only place where modernity emerged. Comment. Comment. So comment is what is the question. And that has to be answered fully in the body of the answer. Next question is what? Do you think ethnomethodology helps us in getting reliable and valid data? Justify your answer. Justify. Third question, discuss the challenges involved in the data collection through census method. Discuss. Critically examine Max Weber's theory of social stratification. From the viewpoint of growing importance of multidisciplinarity, how do you relate sociology to other social sciences? How far sociology is justified using positivist approach to understand social reality? Explain with suitable illustration. How sociology is related to common sense. How do qualitative, quantitative methods supplement each other? Critically examine the dialectics involved in mode of production propounded by Karl Marx. Do you agree with Max Weber's idea that bureaucracy has the potential to become an iron cage? Justify your answer. Explain the concept of social mobility. How has the idea of work from home forced us to redefine the formal and informal organization of work? With suitable example, explain how conformity and deviance coexist in a society as propounded by R.K. Merton. Explain the emerging challenges. Critically examine the relevance of Pareto's theory of circulation of elite. Critically compare Taylor with Max Muller on religion. What is cult? Explain the growth of cult in contemporary times. What do you think Parsons have given adequate theory of social change? Justify your answer. Elucidate the main problem faced by the migrant workers during lockdown period. Explain how political parties and pressure groups are dialectically related to each other. Give your comments on the growth of religious revivalism. Explain the pattern of patriarchy being altered in the family. Critically examine the dependency theory in understanding the present global scenario. Explain the growing salience of ethnicity in the contemporary world. Discuss the changing nature of kinship in the contemporary world. Describe the role of science and technology to enable to face challenges triggered by COVID-19 pandemic. Highlight the roles and functions of civil society in a democratic society. That's all. Paper 1 over. So all these questions, 8 questions I have read. All the questions are falling in one or the other category or not, I have written. Which means there is no question which can go beyond this words which I have put on the board. So you should know what is the meaning of this word, so that I can write the body of the answer according to the demand of the question. Never ever write what you know. Write what is asked. So seeing modernity Writing what is modernity question is comment. And now coming, sir, I have written full 2 pages. I don't know why UPSC discriminates me. Though non-discrimination is a fundamental right under Article 15, but UPSC discriminates me time and again. Oh. UPSC is not discriminating you. UPSC is rejecting you. Rejection is not a discrimination. Try to understand. Rejection is different. Discrimination is different. All rejections are not because of discrimination. You are rejected because you don't perform the role as per expectation of UPSC. Discuss means what? You tell, some of you tell, what do you mean by discuss? Discuss simply means a debate. Discuss means a debate. So a debate will have 2 sides. For, against. A debate will have 2 sides. For, against. So normally debate comes when there is a disagreement between 2 people. Yes or no? When everybody is agreeing, there is no need for a debate. So disagreement is what is the reason for a debate. Somebody would have agreed, somebody would have disagreed on a particular thing. So you are taking the 2 sides. I'll just read out the question. Discuss the challenges involved in collecting data through census method. Means what? Challenges involved in collecting data through census method. Discuss. So one group of people would have told this is what is a very big challenge. Another group of people will have told that adu periya challenge illa, that is not big challenge. This is what is the bigger challenge. Understanding this or not? So challenges, discuss the challenges involved in collecting data through census method means there may be people who say this is what is the challenge. Another group says this is not the bigger challenge. This is what is the bigger challenge. Like in a debate, you have 2 sides. There are 2 different types of challenges. When you collect data through census method, write about these challenges. Have you understood the meaning of the word discuss? Any problem? Comment. Comment. The first question itself is a comment based question. 2021 paper 1 Sociology section A. Europe was the first and the only place where modernity emerged. Comment. Comment means what? What do you mean by comment? Comment means your opinion. Comment means what? Your opinion. How do you feel? What do you feel? Your opinion. So, you are having a feeling and write that feeling. The question says, Europe was the first and the only place where modernity emerged. What is your opinion? Is Europe the only place where modernity first emerged? Even before Europe came with Renaissance, even before Europe experienced enlightenment, India was enlightened society. Even before these people came with their scientific discoveries, we have a system of science which was very much clearly recorded by our scientists. You say what? You say democracy is what is modernity. America in 1780s was the first country to write the constitution, becoming the oldest democracy in the world. We have Kudavolai system. So what is that which triggers your mind? How can you say that there only modernity happened, here modernity did not happen? You know, there are different models of modernity. Your understanding of modernity is an European centric modernity. It is a Eurocentric modernity which you are talking about. Eurocentric modernity means what? Science, rationality, mass production, mechanization, city. What is our modernity? Our modernity is what? The temples which we have today are highly based on scientific methods. When they don't know what is modernity, we practiced modernity. So you have this feeling or not? That feeling comes or not? Right? Right? Understanding or not? Understanding the question. So your opinion, tappu, no, I can't agree that you are modern. You are the only modern. Only modern means what? It is pricking my self-respect or not? Explain. What is the meaning of the word explain? You explain what? You normally explain the working of something. Explain how this washing machine is working. You tell to the showroom person or not. Explain how this EV vehicle is working, electric vehicle is working, how that battery is working, how democracy is working, how capitalism is working. So you normally explain the working of something, you normally explain the process. You normally explain the process. So explain means what? Process. The working of an engine, the working of a system, how Election Commission of India is working, how judiciary is working, how parliament is working. So you normally explain something which is working. You normally explain something which is a process. The basic motive of explaining something is what? Why do you explain? Why do you explain? You explain something which is very easy to understand, or you explain something which is otherwise difficult to understand? Tell me. You explain something which is difficult to understand. How this fan is running is easy to understand or difficult to understand? If I put the switch on, the fan is running. Whether we have asked this question to the electrician who was fitting the fan, eppadi switch potta fan sutthudu? How? When you put the switch on, the fan is running. Explain. He says, switch on, it will run. Eppadi suttum? Switch potta suttum. Puriyala. I tell you. No, how I press that switch, this fan is running. See, this switch is connected to this fan through this wire, and in the fan there are many parts. This is what the coil, the current comes to the coil, and this is the rotor. It rotates like this, and this is why the fan is. So you explain something which is difficult to understand. The reason for explanation is a difficult thing is made simpler to understand. A difficult thing is made easy to understand. Explain means Make something which is difficult easily understandable. A difficult thing is now easily understandable. That is the meaning of the word explain. Explain whether Durkheim's theory of division of labor is relevant in the present day context. Question asked in 2021 Sociology. Working of Durkheim's theory of division of labor in the contemporary time. But division of labor is a concept. It's a very difficult concept. And that concept, how it is working in the contemporary times, how? So it is a difficult concept. And through your explanation, you are making it easy to understand. So yes, this is how Durkheim's division of labor is working today. So explaining means you are making a difficult thing easy. You are explaining the process of something. Evaluate. What is the meaning of the term evaluate? Sir, paper evaluate பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? Have you evaluated the paper? Paper evaluation. We use the term evaluation for what? Whenever there is an evaluation, the final product is what? Judgment. You are making a judgment. So before you make a judgment, you'll try to make a judgment based on pros and cons of the facts. So evaluation starts with the facts. You are studying the positives and negatives of the fact, and finally you are giving a judgment. Evaluation means making a judgment after carefully studying the facts. So evaluation, have you understood that or not? Opinion. Opinion means your feeling. Evaluation is a conclusive judgment. Which one? Judgment should not be biased because it is backed by fact. Comment can be biased because it is based on your feeling. Understood? Judgment will be made by the Supreme Court of India, not based on the feeling, but based on the fact. Judge will ask, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? Evidence is not there. Case dismissed. But it happened. We can't do anything. We can't help. You are not bringing evidence. No. Case is dismissed. But it is real. That is not the question. Whether it is evidence backed or not. The person only did murder, but there is no backup evidence. The judge also knows that he only committed the murder, but without evidence, how will I give punishment? The case dismissed. I'm sentencing. I'm setting him free. That's all. Feeling comment. Because whatever I am telling, Aryabhatta, Bhaskara, all came here before those stalwarts came. So India, Arthashastra was written by Kautilya before thousands of years. And it is a good treatise on how you have to scientifically run the government. Today only they are talking about public administration, how to run the system scientifically. 1,000 years back, Kautilya in his Arthashastra wrote, all these things are what? My own feeling only. Because tomorrow they may bring an evidence. Even before Arthashastra, there is some system which was prevailing there. So I am not going to use my facts here, which is uncontestable. I am using a feeling, which is why it is called a comment. Critically evaluate. Evaluate and critically evaluate both are same, excepting that when you try to critically evaluate, you are using different perspectives. You are using different perspectives when it is a critical evaluation. So critically evaluate and evaluate both are same. Only difference is that you are using different perspectives in the critical evaluation. Because some perspectives are very stronger perspectives than the other. Based on that, you'll come to arrive at a judgment or not. I'll give you an example. So critically Evaluate is not asked in 2021 paper. Rather, they have asked critically examine. Critically examine, they have asked. So I'll come to examine. Examine means what? Examine means what? The doctor is evaluating the patient or examining the patient. Examining the patient. But in this context, you can use interchangeably evaluation and examine. But the word simply means, examine means part by part. You are carefully studying, part by part. So, the doctor advised a test for the patient. Take the blood test. So, these are the things you have taken the blood test. So, doctor is taking the report. See, what is the sugar level? Sugar level is this. What is the cholesterol level? It is this. What is the hemoglobin level? This. Blood platelets, this. Thyroid, this. Minerals, sodium level, potassium level, urea level, creatinine level. Part by part he is examining or not? So part by part you are trying to carefully study is what is examine. Critically means from different perspectives, part by part. So examination is what is done by the doctor. Part by part you are studying very, very carefully. Why do you study part by part? What is the reason for studying part by part? Blood. In that blood, there are many components like blood count, total blood count, lipid profile, then renal function test. All these are there. So part by part, why he is studying? Because he is trying to find out something. ஏதோ இருக்குதா ஏதாவது இருக்குதா something is there, something is there. Trying to find out something by carefully studying part by part. இதுல எது இருக்குதா ஏதாவது இதுல இருக்குதா something is there in this, something is there in kidney, something is there in liver, something is there in heart. So this is what is called as examine. Critically means from various perspectives you are studying part by part. That's all. So when the word critically is asked, you are using different perspectives and you are doing the careful study. That's all. Because some perspectives will be stronger than some other perspectives. Elucidate. What is the meaning of the word elucidate? List out. Elucidate means list out. Exactly. List out. Elucidate means make something clear. So elucidation is making something clear. Elucidation and explanation are very, very closely related, siblings. So you need not go to that extent. Elucidation and explanation are replaceable or interchangeable. Because the ultimate objective is make something clear. Justify. Justify. So justification should be based on what? Facts. Why I am saying Marx is not relevant? Or why I say Marx is relevant? Because of the data I have. So when I said additional source, I mentioned about Hindu, EPW, all these stuffs. No. In that Hindu or EPW, what you should try to give importance to is, for sociology, the additional source should be sociologist, reputed sociologists. You should not write the viewpoint of politicians. Sir, DMK president told like that. BJP state president daily in the news. அவர் இதை சொன்னார் சார். செல்லாது. அப்போ what is that thing which you have to use? Sociologist's opinion. But be very, very careful to drop the name of that particular sociologist. Otherwise, it will be like you are not such intellectually grown person to give a sociological viewpoint on that. And I don't want you to become that. I wanted you to become IAS officer, not a sociologist. We are reading sociology because we hope that sociology will make you IAS. If we are not going to get, if our objective is not IAS, will we read sociology? Will we speak about sociology right now? Use it. After you have used it, then the choice is yours. Leave it or further reuse it. Use. You are not marrying to a particular subject. We don't marry a particular subject. We are using the particular subject for a particular purpose. Believe that we will cross 300 with sociology. So sociologist's name will have to be written, but doesn't mean that you should write too many names. Sociologist's name. Sometimes that particular sociologist himself will be checking your paper. Once it happened, Deepankar Gupta was correcting your paper 10-15 years back. Deepankar Gupta used to correct the sociology optional paper. That year sociology score was very, very poor, because when he is correcting your paper, he will expect you to write his name or not. But unfortunately, you don't write the name of Deepankar Gupta. You write the name of M.N. Srinivas, Andre Bette, Yogendra Singh. What about me? I'm also a reputed sociologist. You are not respecting me. But how do we know who will come to correct the paper? If we know exactly that particular person, Satish Deshpande, is going to come to correct your paper, every line Satish Deshpande told this, Satish Deshpande told this, and finally you'll end up getting 380 out of 500. But that doesn't happen because we don't know. So when you write that Deepankar Gupta told like that, he has not told that first. Who knows that? He knows. When I told Deepankar Gupta wrote a book, Social Background of Indian Nationalism, his blood pressure will shoot or not? Because that is not the book written by Deepankar Gupta, it is written by A.R. Desai. So when you write the name of the thinker, you be very careful. But here also I'll tell you, in the course of discussion, I'll tell you, there are some names which you can keep on writing. If you don't have anything to do, I give you a fodder thinker. Fodder thinkers, a list of fodder thinkers I'll give. Just drop their name. Definitely they will not come to correct your paper because they are not alive. So you can write. The one who is correcting the paper also will think that maybe he has written many things, maybe he has told this thing as well. How do we know? So the benefit of doubt will come to you. So I'll give you a list of Marxism, these people, 5-6 people, Marxian perspective, Parsonian perspective, 5-6 thinkers, Weberian perspective, 3-4 thinkers, right? Durkheimian perspective, 2-3 thinkers, feminist perspective, some 5-6 thinkers. You don't have anything, right? There is nobody to stop you. You can write, but that will happen only after you do your basic reading. If you start right from now onwards, you'll not read. You'll simply cook the name of the thinker of your own, which is not good. As a teacher, I should not advise. It's a very wrong advice if I give that to the students. So later, last minute, sir, give me some thinker's name. I'll give you the thinker's name. You just use them. According to your own convenience, you use. They'll not come to claim because they are not alive. So this is what is the thing which you should know, that sociologists name most importantly reports of institutions. Either it should be report of the national institutions or it should be the reports of the international institutions. So UN Women in 2021 report writes about shadow violence to refer to how women are harassed during the lockdown period. Very authentic, very authentic, very authentic. So UN body in fact has, we will speak about everything in sociology. UN body will speak. So carefully you have to just go to the UN body and search where is your report. That time report will be under preparation. So don't wait for the report to come. Whatever report has come in the form of newspaper, those reports only you take. You don't go to the report. You don't go to the UN website and try to search, do I have any report for the problem faced by women during the lockdown period? It will be a very hectic exercise. You'll be lost. Time is waste. Time is wasted. So don't do this. Don't overdo anything, according to me. Don't overdo anything. Don't neglect also anything. So right balance you have to try to strive. So these two are things which you have to make a note of when you write this answers, because they are facts, authentic facts, because without facts you can't make a judgment. So the body of the answer, have you understood? There are three ways to introduce an answer. Have you understood that? Is that clear? Now the body of the answer, the various key concepts given in the question or the key terms used in the question, we have deciphered. Have you understood that? Any clarification? Now what is the third part of the answer? It is conclusion. Conclusion. Conclusion is very, very important, because that time only they are going to finalize the numbers. What number you have to be given, what number you will be getting, will be finalized only after the examiner reads your conclusion. So don't give a very diluted conclusion, give a very power packed conclusion, because you have a brilliant start. You have given a brilliant start, very interesting, and he reads all the things, body of the answer and all he reads. Finally when you conclude, the climax of the movie is not up to the expectation, means movie will flop or not. On the contrary, even if the body of the in the middle portion of the movie is a little bit not intact with the demand of the audience, but the last 10 minutes the audience is going to the corner of the seat, means it will be a blockbuster or not. Last 10 minutes the movie is scoring, means it will be a hit. இன்டர்வலுக்கு முன்னால படம் சூப்பரா இருக்குது, இன்டர்வலுக்கு அப்புறம் எப்படா படம் முடியும் இருக்குதுன்ற மாதிரி கமெண்ட் வந்துச்சுன்னு வைங்க, அந்த படம் ஓடாது. எல்லாமே கரெக்ட் சுமாரா இருக்குது, பட் லாஸ்ட் 10 மினிட்ஸ் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஃபீலிங்கை கொடுத்தா your answer will be a hit, because here where the number is going to be fixed, finalized. So this will be what some people write thus, like an approver. I have told whatever I have told is true only, like that. Don't give approval statement and all, approver statement and all. Introduction is interesting. Conclusion should throw something based on the body. It should throw something new. It should not be rewriting what you have written in the past in the body. Don't rewrite what you have written in the body. Don't write summary. Conclusion is not the summary, but conclusion is what? Something opening, a new opening. Like KGF 1 conclusion, KGF 2, Bahubali 1, Bahubali 2, அதான் எண்ட்னு போட்டார். பாகுபலி தி எண்ட், பிகினிங் எண்ட்னு போட்டு முடிச்சிட்டார். அவ்வளவுதான். 3 எல்லாம் எதிர்பார்க்காது. இல்ல, Some new opening, it should see, that is what is very good or not. You understand the psyche of the examiner, you'll hit. Definitely, you understand the psyche of the examiner, definitely you'll be a hit. So conclusion means what? For example, it may be when they are asking about Durkheim's division of labor applicable to contemporary society, you can write how his theory, despite of the criticism, is having most of the applications today in this way. Through his theory of division of labor only, we come to know about how organic solidarity is more important than mechanical solidarity, how the sense of belongingness to a group is more important than economic motive, which is why today all the contemporary corporations or companies are having a separate department for human resource management. So when Fordism told that for money only people will work, it is Durkheim who told not only for money people will work. Now Frederick Taylor told for money only people work. He said money is not the sole motive for people to work, and this is true today, which is why people are not only given payment, they are also given some sort of empathetic connection with the corporations, which is why there are human resource personnels employed in a big way in the industries today. So industrial sociology is a culmination of Durkheim's work on division of labor in the contemporary times. New thing I am speaking? Understanding this point or not? Something new I am speaking? So never ever write a summary in the conclusion. So conclusion should be a new opening. It should give you a new clue. It should just open a new dimension based on the past. So conclusion can be relevance today. This itself is a conclusion only. How far it is good, how far it is bad, how far it is practically applicable, how far it is not practically applicable. So that is what is the conclusion. It is not the summary. Don't repeat what you have written in the body in the conclusion. Don't repeat what you have written in the introduction in the conclusion. So these are the three parts of the answer. Clear about the structure of the answer? Any doubt? Clear about the structure of the answer? There are some basic needs which you have to satisfy. Some basic needs. When we use Parsonian language, functional prerequisites. So some basic needs. Everybody should satisfy these basic needs. If you have to score 320 plus, everybody will have to satisfy these basic needs. The first need is, it is not based on the importance, just all are important. Handwriting should be not so beautiful. You don't have to require a beautiful handwriting. It should be at least a legible handwriting. What you have written, I should be able to read. Then only I can give you score. So it should be legible. From my understanding of the topper scores, I've seen that those who have topped, those who have crossed 300 plus, their handwriting was really not just legible, beautiful. This is the handwriting of Shanmugavalli, who scored All India Sociology topmost marks 303 last year. So 303 happens to be the first mark in sociology, and our student Shanmugavalli got 303 last year. So look at her handwriting. right? So handwriting is good. And this is the handwriting of Renita, who cleared recently. ரெண்டு கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கு பாருங்க. Sir, I am not having that blessings of the divinity to be blessed with this good handwriting. What should I do? At least try to write in a way which is understandable. How you know? If you have a very bad handwriting, but I too wanted to become IAS, because after becoming IAS, I am not going to write my notes and all. No, I'm just I'll just dictate the notes and the typist will type and then only I'll sign the order. Where is the role of handwriting in IAS and all after getting service? This is the question now. So for you, I'm telling you, if you have a very bad handwriting, try to leave some space between the words. Write only 4 words in a line or 5 words in a line if it is a bigger word, 4 to 5. So gap between space between the words and the space between the lines will make your handwriting legible. If you have a bad handwriting, space between the words and the space between lines will be a very apt thing to do. So handwriting is the basic need. Secondly, highlighting. Highlight, underlining, but don't keep on underlining. Don't try to convert an unruled paper into a ruled paper. Don't do that. There are some students who keep on writing, who keep on drawing lines and lines, telling me whatever points I have written, they are very important only, so I have underlined. If you have written that so important point, kindly don't underline, because we will read. When you underline everything only, it becomes difficult for us to read. You be very stingy person as far as underlining is concerned. Only that concept you underline, the words you underline, or some quotes if you have written, then you underline. Otherwise, simply is, was, have and all don't underline, because it's not making any big impression, right? So highlighting is very, very important. Third is subheading. I could see from Shanmugali's paper that, see, subject matter of sociology, she has underlined. And she has written the points, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So that is very important, because when you write number 1, number 2 within the paragraph itself, when you write number 1, number 2, it will be easy for us to read fastly. When you are making our work easy, we will make your life easy. On the contrary, when you make the evaluation difficult for UPSC examiner, he will make our life miserable or not. He has the power to do so. So I told you have to convince, you have to make the examiner happy. If you reduce the workload, then he'll be happy. I've not written anything in the paper, sir, because it will otherwise be very workload for the person. I mean, don't tell like that and all. Write, but neat writing, highlighting, subheading, point form within the paragraph. There is a debate. 1 point form I should write, 2 bullet form, paragraph form I should write. See, this question is not relevant question. It is based on the question only. Question itself will tell you whether it is point form or paragraph form. But the best thing in sociology is in paragraph point. What Shanmugali has done. In the form of paragraph, I will write points. So that is the best thing. Fourth is some pictorial representations. Pictures, I am not telling you to draw the face of Karl Marx and all. Emile Durkheim, it will not be that so easy first, and secondly, it is not that so aesthetically appealing as well. பார்க்கிறதுக்கே பயங்கரமாக இருக்கும். அதனால் அதெல்லாம் வேண்டாம். டோன்ட் ட்ரை ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ். சிம்பிள் திங். சம் வென் டயக்ராம், some pie chart, some flow chart. Try. Should I draw for every question like this? No. Demand of the question, otherwise it will be not fitting to the flow of the answer. Don't deliberately inject these things. It should be a natural flow. So appropriate place only try to do this. Don't be desperate to do this. If the answer is permitting these pictorial representations, kindly do that. If the answer is not permitting, don't forcefully inject that into your answer, because the flow will get disrupted. So I will prefer paragraph within the paragraph points, but the paragraph should be organically linked to each other. I'll tell you that one paragraph you should write only one point. Don't write too many points in one paragraph, because it will miss the focus of it will miss the attention of the examiner. One paragraph you write in one point you write in one paragraph. So the last line of the first paragraph should open the first line of the second paragraph. The last line of the first paragraph should open the first line of the second paragraph. This is what are the paragraphs. This is para 1, para 2, para 3. I've written. So this is giving a opening to this. I'm writing. This is giving me an opening to this. So the last line of the previous paragraph should be giving a lead to the first line of the next paragraph. This is what is the most expected thing, because otherwise it will be like cut, copy, paste of many things. That flow will be missing. So there should be a flow, natural flow in the answer. Natural flow. Like a river which is just having a natural flow. When there is a mountain, that river will try to take a turn. When there is a big mountain, what the river does, it is trying to take a natural flow or not. In the same way, maintain the natural flow of the river in the paragraphs. So you can miss out 1 or 3 points, that is not a bigger problem, but don't try to scatter all the points. Don't try to just spray the points and come. You are expected to give a garland. You are not expected to just give the flowers. Tell the examiner to make a garland out of the flowers. Garland you should give. Just throw one basket full of flowers to the examiner. Whatever you want, you do with these flowers. You wanted to make a garland, you yourself make. If you give that work to the examiner, then he will not give any work to us or not. Each and every answer is like you are constructing a house. 19 houses you are constructing. Beautiful house, useful house. Out of this 19 houses in paper 1, 6 houses are big bungalow type of houses, and 13 houses are small flat type of house. This will be for paper 1, separately it will be for paper 2. So how you are writing the answer, you are sculpting the answer. You are not just throwing the answer, you are sculpting the answer. You are fine-tuning the answer. A refined answer you are giving in the final examination. For giving the refined answer in the final examination, you have to keep on working. First time you build the house, again you fine tune. Many times you do that fine tuning. Finally, the house which you are giving to the examiner will be satisfying the examiner. He will be satisfying you. So every single question is giving the potential to make you IAS. It is having the potential to make you IAS. So when you write the question, you should think that this question, this answer I am writing is going to give me a seat in Labasna. This answer I am writing is going to give me IAS. This answer is going to give me district collector job. This answer is going to make me chief secretary of the state after 35 years. This is going to make me DGP of the state after 35 years. So every question will have to be sculpted by you. Don't just write what you know and come. Very, very utmost attention to be given to each and every question. Perfection comes because of practice. So test series is to give you practice. Make you fine tune. So what I'm going to do in the test series? I'm going to give you the question. You are going to write the answer. We are having a very exhaustive discussion of the answer. Discussion answer is not just telling this is how you have to write. Discussion answer is this is what you have to write. I'm not just telling you this, like this you write, like that you write. No. This is what you write. So there are two types of students who may come to me. One, who have some creative ability. I tell them, you be creative, you create your own answer, give to me. We will have one-to-one discussion. I'll fine-tune your creative answer. Two, there are some students who may say that, sir, I am not that so creative and all. For you, if creation is not possible, imitation is possible or not. You create or you imitate. Choice is yours. We have both the models. Creation model also I have, imitation model also I have. So try to choose the path which you like to choose. Imitation answer means what? I'll give you a full-fledged model answer, right, in the form of discussion. Go back to your place, rewrite the discussed answers. Rewrite the discussed answers. It will take time, but I tell you that it is worth the time spending. Because those who have rewritten the answer, they have invariably cleared the examination. Rewriting of the test answer is very, very important because that is the surest way of reading. Surest way of reading is what? Writing only. So rewrite. Practice, I told. So everybody will desire to become IAS. Those who practice, they become perfect. It is not about your desire. It is not just about your desire. It is about whether you deserve. Everybody desire to get 320 plus in sociology. But do you deserve to get 320? How do I transform desire to deserve? It is through practice. Sir, I have not written even single question I have not written so far. Don't worry, we'll start a fresh chapter from today. Sir, I have done so many writing in the past. Write the answer. Give to me. I'll see. I have to start. For you also, the option is open. For the one who is a veteran, option open. So this is going to cater to all this test batch, is not keeping in mind only one section of the students. This is a test series for all. Anyone, first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, sir, interview, service. There are some service people who are writing the test series now. Who are already in service, they are going to write the test series. So this test series will give you a platform whereby you can get connected to those people who have already written the examination, cleared the examination, just they wanted 20 marks extra, which is why they are again writing this examination. You can talk to them. Model answers are there. Many toppers have come. Their model answers are there. You can take the model answer. Don't blindly imitate their model answer. Because a student was telling, sir, I have downloaded the top model answers of many toppers, so I'm reading all of these. You can have a glance, but don't try to copy paste their answers because it will be suitable to them. It may not be suitable for everyone. The suitability of those answers will have to be tested by you. You write those answers. I'll just evaluate and tell you whether it is fitting to you or not. You can, of course, know, but you have your own model. You have your own approach. After having clue from all these sources, you have to take your own approach. because if you try to cram their answers and write, the question which they have written for is different than the question which you are going to write. Understand? So that is why you can't cut copy paste their answer. But the thing is that there are certain basic things I told. No, handwriting is good. Subtopic they have written, in the subtopic also 1 2 3 they have written, so they have connected the points. So there are some basics which I have told you. These basics you have to follow. Now come to the test. Basically test is testing one thing: optimal resource, optimal use of resource. This is what is the test all about. When you become the collector, how you are optimally using the resource. There are two important resources in the examination. One is the time, which is a resource. Another is the space, which is a resource. Time and space. So optimal use of time and space is what is tested, essentially speaking. Optimal use of time and space is only tested. We know that every paper will be for 180 minutes, but you should subtract 10 minutes for formalities, so you are having only 170 minutes. 170 minutes. And space constraint you have, because for 10 marker they are giving you 2 pages. For 20 markers they are giving you 4 pages normally. Sometimes in paper 2 they give only 3 pages for 20 marker. So generally 20 marker 4 pages or 3 pages, 10 marker 2 pages. Space and time you should use optimally. When it comes to time, how will I allocate this 170 minutes? So I have 170 minutes. I should attempt 2 types of questions. One is 10 marker question, another is 20 marker question. 10 marker question we have 13 questions. 20 marker question we have 6 questions. So I should give how much time out of 170? How much marks? 130 marks, 120 marks. Almost same weightage for short notes and long answers. 120 marks for long answers and 20 markers. 130 marks for short notes. So equal time I should give out of this 170. So I will give 85 minutes for this. I'll give 85 minutes for this totally. Now in 85 minutes I should write 13 questions. In 85 minutes I should write answer for 13 questions. So I have to spend around how many minutes? Around, if I make a calculation, it comes how many minutes I should spend for 10 marker question? 6.5 marks I should spend. 6.5 minutes I should spend per question. So here how much I should spend? Around 14 minutes I should spend. 14 minutes per question. So in 6.5 minutes, I should write one short notes. In 14 minutes, I should write one long answer. So how fast I should be? So I should be fast, speed. as well as accuracy. Both will have to be taken care of, speed as well as accuracy. கரெக்டாகவும் எழுதணும், ஃபாஸ்டாகவும் எழுதணும். அதுதான் டெஸ்ட். ஃபாஸ்டா தப்பு தப்பா எழுதுறது சரியில்லை. கரெக்டா கம்மியா எழுதுறது அதுவும் தப்பு. அப்போ ஃபாஸ்டாகவும் இருக்கணும், கரெக்டாகவும் இருக்கணும். யூ ஷுட் பி ஃபாஸ்ட், யூ ஷுட் பி ரைட் as well. So when you make a rough calculation, in 85 minutes or in 170 minutes, you are supposed to write some 5,000 words. How fast? How accurate? So do you think that without writing the tests, without writing so many tests, I can straight away go to UPSC to get that 320? Impossible it is. There are some students for the first time they'll write the test only in UPSC examination hall. And definitely we know that what is going to happen. Practice, practice, practice. So you have to get the speed and the accuracy only through repeated practice. Keep on writing, 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 writing. More than reading, you should give importance to writing. But unfortunately, many students will keep on reading, 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 reading without giving any time to writing, which is why the probability of failure increases for them. So reading is not to be isolated from writing. Writing is the end of reading. Reading is only a process. Writing is the product. Based on what you have written only, you will be given a score. Based on that score only, you will be getting IAS. So test series is to give you that practice. Of course, I understand 3 hours of test. Very difficult in the first time. First test, not many students will write all the answers. But don't worry about that. How many questions you can write, those many questions you write. Some students will come and write 1 question, 2 questions, they'll come and write. No problem. They are far better than those students who bunk the test and go. There is a book called as Eat That Frog. Whatever you are hesitating, that if you are doing, you will clear the exam. You will become successful. So we hesitate to write, which is the most important thing to clear the examination. Never hesitate. Just act. So the more and more when you hesitate, the more and more you have to act only. I hear, I forget. I see, I forget. I do, I retain. So when I hear, I don't understand. When I see, I don't understand. When I do only, I understand. So doing is the surest way of clearing the examination, not just knowing. Knowing is not important. Application of what you know is much more important. எனக்கு தெரியும் அப்படின்னா அதை எப்படி ஆன்சர்ல காமிக்கல. You are showing in the answer means it's good. You know, but I don't write on the piece of paper means then it's unscientific. Our approach will be unscientific. So we are going to give you training through 12 tests. 12 tests. What we have done in the test, you know, we have clubbed paper 1 with paper 2. Wherever possible, we have clubbed paper 1 with paper 2. So there is no paper 1, there is no paper 2 separately. UPSC also is doing this thing only. They are asking something which is in paper 2 syllabus in paper 1. What is there in paper 1 syllabus, they are putting in paper 2. So what is to be avoided is don't compartmentalize. Compartmentalization should be avoided. This is that is this. No. Compartmentalization should be avoided. Our approach should be integration approach, not compartmentalization approach. Integration approach. You know something, sociology, when you are preparing for your GS. When you are preparing for sociology or preparing for essay, last year 2021, how many essay questions came from sociology? Out of 8, 6 came from sociology. And that too, two types of thinkers. One is Mead type of thinking, non-positivism. Second is Marxism. If you know Marxism, if you know non-positivism, out of 8 questions asked in 2021 essay paper, 6 questions you know. The problem for sociology student last essay was which one to choose, which one to leave, because they know everything. Almost 8 out of 8, they know 6 questions. So when you prepare for sociology, don't think that sociology I am preparing. No, for GS you are preparing paper 1. For GS paper 2 you are preparing alongside sociology. For essay you are preparing. So anyone preparing for sociology optional is preparing not only for 500 marks, they are preparing for plus 250 essay plus some 250 for GS. Extra 500. So when you are preparing for essay, you are not preparing for 500 marks, you are preparing minimum for 1000 marks. Similarly, when you do GS, you try to use it in sociology. When you study in sociology, try to use in GS. The only difference between GS answer and sociology answer is that in GS answer, don't flood the answer with the thinker's name. Even in sociology, don't flood the answer with thinker name. A student of us was telling, sir, last test batch I was writing, you know something, when he wrote his mains, he was having a list of thinkers name I have given in the test batch. Sir, 80% of your model answer I have read and I have written all the thinkers name. You know how many thinkers name came? 1685 came, sir, so far. I was really shocked. Even I was not having the count. I said, why should you write all these thinkers name? No, it is there in the discussion notes. Don't flood the answer with the thinker's name. For example, Karl Marx told this, Max Weber told this, G.H. Mead told this, Parsons told this, Merton told this, Durkheim told this. The question will be what you told. If these people have told these things, then they should be given IAS, not you. So you don't use too much of anything is bad. There is one saying, excess and deficiency both should be called as disease. Too much of thinker's name. Too much of thinker's name. And that student, when he came out and told me, sir, in the exam paper I have written 600 thinkers, but unfortunately I have not written the remaining 1250 plus. I doubt your result. It happened. It didn't clear. What is the problem? The problem is simple. Every line, one thinker, one thinker. You're dumping. It is not a garbage yard. You dump something. No. You should get the arguments from the thinkers and you have to develop that argument. Rather than mechanically dropping the name of the thinkers, you should use the thinkers very optimally. Don't overuse. Overusing of things will be misuse. One answer, 3-4 thinkers name sufficient. 3-4 thinkers name is more than sufficient per answer. But as a teacher, I should keep on giving many to you. Only when I give 1000 names, you'll retain some 50. I hope. So don't have this desperation to use the thinker's name. When you write the answer, you should write the jargons, expressions. When they ask you caste conflict or class conflict, when they ask you the class conflict of Marxism, Marxism says all hitherto existing societies are the histories of class conflict. That quote you can write. Karl Marx quote they have asked in essay paper 2021 or not. So any quote, that quote should not be what? Very, very lengthy quote. One line quote. That only you can memorize and you can write. Similarly, that ideal type of definition and all, if you don't retain, if you can't retain, don't write the definition. I keep on telling my students, ideal type is formed by the one-sided accentuation of one or more points of view By the synthesis, the diffuse, discrete, more or less present, occasionally absent, concrete individual phenomena which are unified into a single analytical construct. In its conceptual purity, this analytical construct is found nowhere empirically in reality. This is the definition of ideal type as given by Max Weber. Can you rewrite this? You can't. You can't. So don't try something which is not coming easily. Don't spend more time, because anyhow you are going to make mistake there in the examination situation. So one line concepts, which means that what you should do, the best preparation I am telling you. So write the thinker, major thinker, Karl Marx. What are the words which was used by Karl Marx? Alienation, exploitation, class in itself, class for itself, polarization, pauperization, homogenization. Like that, you have some typical words used by Marx. Those words should be the fodder words. Using that words only, you should construct the statement. So you should have a list of to be remembered words, TBR words. To be remembered: feminization of agriculture, pauperization of peasantry when it comes to this paper 2. Primitive accumulation of surplus as told by Karl Marx. When you write these words, the answer becomes a scaled up answer, step up answer, stepped up answer is stepped up. It is becoming quality answer now. Is, was and all you use, but the words you have to definitely borrow from Marx only, from Durkheim only, from the particular thinker only. When you write M.N. Srinivas without writing westernization, Sanskritization, dominant caste, how can you expect a high score in sociology? When you write Yogendra Singh, you have to write cultural change, structural change, macro structure, micro structure, little tradition level, great tradition level. These are some of the words used by Yogendra Singh. When you write Yogendra Singh, you write these words. Using these words only, you construct your answer. Why you will not score 320 plus in sociology? I am telling you. To be very, very frank, students who have crossed 300 also have not done what I told, but still they got 300 plus. Which, according to me, if they have followed very religiously whatever I have told, they have done 80%. If they have done 100% of what I have told, 300 will become 340, 320 would have become 380. I am confident. So they say, sir, I didn't do all these things, whatever you told. Something which you told I followed. So my query is that you should have done all these things. No. Otherwise, instead of IRS, you would have got IAS. So we can't follow 100%, but at least I am telling that we will try our level best to follow. You put your best effort. I am telling you, don't think about result. Put your best effort, because effort is in your hand. Result is not in your hand. Those who have gone to interview, those who have got service, they didn't clear prelims. And those who are in service, they have written their prelims last week and they are coming and telling, sir, clear agade, we are going back. 6 times one has failed in the prelims. He says yesterday that 100% I am going to write mains. Who knows which attempt he will clear? To be very frank, I am telling. But what is real is that we have to keep on working. My life is next 2 years dedicated only to preparation. I will not even see my cutoff. I will not see my result. I keep on studying. I'll do my work. Do your duty. Mahatma Gandhi says, do your duty. Because that is what is in your hand. Despite of putting all these efforts, if I am not clearing this examination, sure, what should I do? My simple, humble suggestion is rewrite the examination. Sir, this attempt it is not going to come. Try next attempt. So simple it is to deal with the situation caused by UPSC. If not this attempt, next attempt. But to clear in the next attempt, you should be thorough with your mains this attempt. I find a huge drop in the number of students who will write the test after the results are out. 50% dropout after the result. And these 50% what they are thinking, I have not cleared this year. To clear next year, you should study this year. You know that or not? So whether we clear or we don't clear, we are not going to bother at all this year. The only difference between us and those who clear the prelims examination is that we write outside the UPSC examination hall, they write inside the examination hall. That's all. That's all. If you do that level of preparation, for sure I am telling that next year you'll get top 10 ranks. I didn't clear prelims, my cutoff is only 70, sir. What should I do, sir? No motivation to study mains, sir. Means no motivation to study, the surest way of rejection. I tell you, very, very frankly, I tell you, surest way of rejection is lack of motivation. Sir, I don't find motivation. Come to me. We'll sit and talk. See, we are not going to go barehanded. I tell you one thing very clearly. We are not going to go barehanded. We have come with a determination. Our conclusion should be a successful conclusion. It should not be a failure. The result is known for sure. We get IAS. But the question is when? That only we don't know. But we becoming IAS, we going to LBSnaa is for sure. 2023 I am going or 24 I am going, I don't know. But even if I go by 20, if I have to go in 2024, I should study for my mains in 2022 right now. If at all they ask a question in sociology which is very application based question, what should I do? Some people may ask, sir, because some bouncer question comes. Yes, out of 38 questions, 30 questions will be straightforward. Very, very simple, straightforward questions. You know the answer, cut, copy, paste the answer. Remaining 5 questions, moderately difficult. And 3 questions are bouncers. But the point is that if you do these questions well, you try 75% of the marks in these questions, you try 50% of marks in these questions, even if you get 20% of marks, you'll get your dream come true. So this bouncer questions, I tell you, 2021 there is no bouncer at all. No bouncer at all in 2021. But in 2020, there was a bouncer called as green chemistry. Earlier, there were some application-based questions like university as a system, traffic problem, according to R.K. Merton. These are some application questions which are not easy. We don't have a ready-made answer for these questions. There only we have to cook the answer. So what should I do? Green means environment, that basic understanding we know. Where environment related things are there in the syllabus of UPSC Sociology. In 2 places we have environment related syllabus. One is social movement, environmental movement. Another is challenges of social transformation, 7th unit of paper 2, section C. 7th unit of paper 2, we have environmental sustainability, sustainable development, displacement, those things. So sustainability, environmental movement, these are the 2 places where environment related sociology is there. Go to those places. What sociology you have read in these 2 places, take that sociology and write that. Simple. Application, sir, university as a system. So what you do, system of Talcott Parsons, you know, he speaks about agile. He speaks about 4 parts. So university has agile, Which part of university performs these four functions? You try to write, and answer is given by you. It is not the right answer, it is approach. If you give that approach, you write the theory. In that theory, you write example university. Same as the case of traffic problem given by R.K. Merton. R.K. Merton never came to India to study the traffic problem in India. But the question is how you can use R.K. Merton theory to understand traffic issues in traffic problem in India. So what R.K. Merton theory says, it's about deviance. What are the four types of deviance? Conformity is conformist, retreatist, ritualist, rebellion, innovation. So how these models, adaptations will be applicable to traffic problem in India? If you try, they'll give you, if you make a genuine attempt, try, if you make, I tell you 50% they'll give you. Because there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer for this. Mandatory that you have to complete the paper. Without completing the paper, you cannot clear the examination. Complete the paper. Don't leave any question unanswered. Write something, because sociology is a subject which is going to give you some or the other perspective. I don't know anything, I write Marxian perspective, I'll get at least 1 mark. Don't leave any question. Leaving the question is again a bigger problem. So attempt all the questions, and sociology is giving you the opportunity to attempt all the questions. So this day, like December 13, 1946, when the Constituent Assembly is making an objective resolution, this day we are taking a resolution. And that resolution is what? 320 plus in sociology. There is a law of dominant thought which I have made a video on. Kindly go to our YouTube channel and see the video on the law of dominant thought. The law of dominant thought simply says, what you think majority of the time will become real. In 12 hours, you think that you can get sociology, you can get 320 plus in sociology for 1 hour, and remaining 11 hours you think that you are not going to get any mark in sociology, you will not get anything. So belief is what is much more important. That is the starting point. That is the fuel for your engine called belief. Believe that you can get 320. Why? Because in past students have cleared with 320. If they can get 320, why you can't get 320? But when I ask some students, what is your target? Sir, at least 240, 250. I wanted some job. We are not beggars. We are choosers, I tell. We are choosers. We choose. We made the choice to run the district, to run the government. We made the choice. Our choice should not be a wrong choice. So we have the utmost responsibility to make our choice right. We have to prove ourselves for the next 3 months. Come what may, we will write all the tests. We'll rewrite all the test discussion answers. We'll empower our sociology. We will scale up our sociology. We'll score more in sociology. So we will get that dream come true called 320 plus in sociology, so that my visa to lbsnaa is with me. We are starting our test next week. So prepare. We have given the timetable, the syllabus we have given, and read from today onwards. Meet you on the test day. Come by 8 o'clock. Write the test till 11 o'clock. Take a short break. Go eat your breakfast. Come strong. By 11:30, we'll start the discussion. So your life is going to change from now onwards. It is going to change. I know. I believe that we can change your lives. When you get what you wanted, the satisfaction which we get cannot be quantified at all. There is some sort of blissfulness you will enjoy. Blissfulness, have you heard about blissfulness? Peranandam. Explain panna mudiyadhu. You can't explain. You can only experience that blissfulness. Want to experience that? Start your preparation right from today without any delay. So, when Abraham Lincoln was asked, what is your strategy for success? He said, if I have to cut the tree in 10 hours, 4 hours I'll sharpen my axe. In 10 hours, if I have to cut a tree, first 6 hours, I will sharpen my axe. So, writing tests and all is like sharpening the axe. With a sharp axe, you go to UPSC, you can cut the tree. Understood? So, all the very best for your preparation. With a positive note, you should go from this place that we are all going to clear the examination through sociology optional paper. The success in this examination is the surest way of salvation. All the best. Thank you.